Hit it! Na 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 na
Na na na na. Here come the hot stepper.
Word 'em up.
Dude. What was that guy's name?
Yeah. If people are watching along and they know what that is,
yeah,
you're old.
You're all right with me.
You are.
You are all right with me. Yes, indeed.
You are close to your pension.
Save me a slice of the lemon key lime pie that you're gonna start having
was
every
that
morning.
snow?
You know what? I was trying to think it was Snow, but I don't think it was. I can't remember his name. Oh, what was that guy's name? Informer. That's Snow for sure. But see, now I gotta look it up. Hot Stepper.
He was a Canadian rapper.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because I
never got the words right.
Man, come on. I gotta look this up now. Here comes the Hot Stepper. Why are there all these guys? Yeah, Ine Kamazi. That's right.
Ine Kamazi.
Ine Kamazi. Yeah, Ine Kamazi.
Shout out to you, my man, if you're alive somewhere in the world.
Yeah,
still.
I know you got it. Hopefully you're still around. Yeah, man.
You hot-stepped me
we
through
don't
my
die.
teenage years.
Yes, we multiply.
Yes, we multiply.
Yeah.
That's right.
Something about the fat ladies singing. Hold on. I'm gonna get it. We got to hear some of this now. Yeah. Na 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 na. Here come the hot stepper, murderer. I'm the lyrical gangster. Murder. I always thought it was word 'em up, but this is murder.
Me too.
It's worse than we thought it was. Pick up the crew in the area. Oh, pick up the crew in the area. Murderer, still love you like that. What the heck? Those lyrics don't even make sense, bro.
No. We didn't make a lot of sense.
I'm a
back
lyrical
in the 90s.
gangster. I'm gonna pick up my crew in the area. I still love you like that. I'm the hot stepper. Yeah, and he's
weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It was the 90s is a vibe. And it makes sense or you don't. The conscious rap, maybe that's why the conscious rappers were called conscious rappers, because it's like, oh, y'all are actually conscious when you're doing this.
Yeah, actually saying
like
something.
You're actually, like, you're not out of your mind. You're not floating off somewhere. You're fully conscious, fully aware of what's going on. So, yeah.
That was the decade we tried to wear pants backwards. So,
right.
we did.
And everything else was wiggity, 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 whack. That's right.
Way to work that in.
Exactly. Nice. Dang, don't make me don't derail me because you make me looking up lyrics the whole time. I can't. Because we got to get to this. This is we got a good little topic today.
Let's do it.
And let's get into it. Let's do it. Let's get into it, brothers and sisters out there in the world. We are ready to get it started. Oh, yeah.
Let's get it started in here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a good one, too. We just need to do a whole Spotify playlist there. And just sing every single song on here. I wonder if we could do that. We could work all of the songs from a 90s playlist into we should try that competition.
I bet we could.
We could do it. We could do it. We should do it. Don't do it today.
Coming up some episodes ahead.
Don't try. I know you. Do not try it. Don't you do it, bro. I don't need to be paranoid. I need to focus today. Come on. Don't do it. I can't be getting ninja blocked on this renegade sliced. Yeah.
Look, don't go chasing waterfalls, bro. Just focus.
You're already doing it. I'm not gonna get sucked in. No. Let's start the show.
We'll do that for a future episode. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Long time.
What? I don't even know what that was, guys. I apologize.
Long time.
Bro, that is not the lyric. But okay, I got you. We're starting. This guy he's off the chains, guys. Please help him, pray for him. Cross his holy water, all of that. Welcome to the Urban Prophets Podcast.
Welcome, welcome.
You all are in for an interesting situation today. We're going to go quickly, bless you. Bless you.
Hey.
Okay.
Thank you.
First of all, bless you. Second of all, we're going to go into a quick check-in because we want to get right into what we're talking about today. Second of all, bless you.
Thank you.
We're going to get right into this. So, Icky Timey, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm blessed and not stressed, living my best right now, today. How you doing, son? How you doing?
I, too, am doing like you.
Ooh.
Not feeling blue.
Hello.
Looking for my crew to pick up in the area.
Yes. Word them up. Murderer.
And yeah, so we're doing good today, guys. We're keeping it short because we got to really get into this talk that that's interesting because nobody knows it but me. Oh, I did another one. Anyway, yeah, that's is that R&B? Nobody knows it. Or is that Babyface? Oh man, I
Babyface.
Babyface, right. Nobody knows it. Anyway, so we're gonna get into this topic. I'm gonna tell you the title. Y'all already know it because you're listening to it, but Icky is about to find out the title right now.
No idea.
And here is the title of today's episode, Icky Timey: The Rise of the Ooo-Waps.
Ooh.
The rise of the Ooo-Waps. And we will tell you what that is all about. Because now everybody's on the same page. You all is like, what the what? After this commercial break from our sponsors, we will tell you what that's all about. So we'll be right back. Oh yeah. And we're back, baby. We are back. And
What's up?
What's up? We are talking today about the rise of the Ooo-Waps. All right, say it with me. Ooo-Waps.
I am so interested.
Yes.
Ooo-Waps.
So here's what we're gonna do. Okay, this is today. We're gonna do something quite interesting, and I hope you find it that way as well. We're going to examine a social issue. Okay, we're going to examine the social issue. And this coming about because I was thinking like, okay, you know what? I want to know like how to change the world. Like the world, there's like a lot of trash stuff about it, but how would you actually go about changing the world? What are some concepts that will help you? So I went and I looked up and I read this article. And so today we are going to examine a social issue using some of the principles from this article that I found. Here's the article. So for anybody who wants to know the actual stuff, it's an article actually from 2018, and it's called "How to Build a New World in the Shell of the Old," and it's from a website called unevenearth.org. It's really cool website. I'm gonna go back there and look at a lot of stuff. They're dedicated to doing what they call slow media, which is like, I'm not gonna worry about keeping up with the news cycle and just barraging you with information. I'm gonna give you some information. I'm gonna give you context so you understand where that whole thing is coming from, and then we're gonna talk about how to deal with that particular thing in a methodic, hopefully useful, processable way. So they are dedicated to doing that. It's like a media ministry kind of sort of style. It's like it teaches you how to identify social issues and gives you like a suggested way forward. Great thing. And they do series, like their articles are in series. It's not just like random articles. They're like, we're going to be talking about global warming for the next 4 or 5 weeks. We're going to have articles like part 1, part 5 or whatever. So this is one of the parts of one of the things that they did. And yeah, so we're gonna get into this. This is cool, okay? It took me a while to put this together, so you guys really need to appreciate this, okay? Because here's what's gonna make it like a little bit of a twist. So we're gonna try to, like I said, have some fun with this. We're going to do this little exercise through the form of a choose your adventure type story.
Ooh,
so
I like
if
it.
y'all remember back, see, this is like the people who went to school with us, you know what that's all about. It's like, if Johnny goes through the tunnel, turn to page 92. If Johnny climbs up the rope and rides the Grace mare, turn to page 5, you know. So if you know what that's all about, that's kind of what
this is like one of
doing.
those like elaborate maps too that like if you said no here, go here.
Right,
and
right.
then you have to find out at the bottom if you die in the in Game of Thrones or something like that.
There are like several ways to kill the story for sure.
Right.
And this is one of those situations. Absolutely, yes. High five to yourself if you're excited in your mind, as I am. All right. So here's the deal. All right. When we come to certain parts of the story, I'm gonna give you like a choice. So you got to make a choice. Now, feel free to ask questions along the way anytime you want. You know, for clarification, whatever. If you feel free to stop and make any kind of observations along the way. You know, just be involved. Just whatever you want to say, like just let it flow. All right. But we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get into the story and have some fun. All right. Yeah. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Okay.
This sounds like a lot of fun. Okay.
Good. No, it is. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And some of the I'm gonna tell you everything anyway, so it doesn't really matter what you pick. But because all of the failures they're hilarious, so it's gonna be great. So I'm not gonna tell you what to pick, but I'm just gonna tell you the hilarious stuff is the failures for sure. All right, so here we go. This is the story of the Ooo-Waps and the Wop Wams. Our story, yes, the Ooo-Waps and the Wop Wams. Our story begins with a young Ooo-Wap named John Jacob, JJ for short. Once a week, he goes to Big Shamaki's Finest Foods and Other Stuff to buy groceries for his household. JJ doesn't like to go here. He doesn't like to go to Big Shamaki's. He doesn't like to go there. But he has to because there is no store within 45 miles of Ooo-Wap County. That is because 50 years ago, Big Shamaki's uncle, Lonnie Lorraine, and about 30 other Wop Wams destroyed all of the businesses leading up to Ooo-Wap County. So for the past 50 years, brothers and sisters, the Wop Wams have been running everything. Not only that, folks, but the next county over, which is Wop Wam County, the prices at those stores are not much better. So it's just a mess all around. No help there in Ooo-Wap County, no help in Wop Wam County. It's just nuts, all right? So now we're getting back to the story. JJ, he's at Big Shamaki's. He's got his groceries. Goes to pay for his groceries. His groceries are 650 moles.
Oh, mercy. Holy moly.
650 moles. That's right. Holy moly indeed, my friend. JJ is getting tired of this. Okay? He's fed up. Right? He goes home. He vents to his wife, Sheena, Shay for short, they call her. Right? He says to her, I am tired of this. I'm tired of this shiitake mushroom. All right, they curse. Nice. They curse in fine foods here. That's what they do, right? It's just food related. So I'm tired of this shiitake mushroom. What the fakasha bread is Big Shamaki thinking? He's heated, bro. He's heated. Right?
He probably wanted to kick his asparagus.
That's the type of involvement I like. That's what I'm talking about. He definitely wanted to kick his asparagus for cheesy. Yes, he wanted to whop it all up and down the floor. All right. He's continuing his rant. He says to Shay, I work super hard for whack pay, and this is half my check. We need more moles. Shay Shay is feeling bad. She says to JJ, maybe I can go back to the shop for a couple of hours a week. This makes JJ even angrier. What? He says. No, you are 4 months away from having our child. You need to be stress-free. Absolutely not. So JJ is mad. Shay Shay don't know what to do. This frustration goes on for the next month till JJ decides he can't take no more. He has to do something. Ding, ding, ding. Choice time. JJ will, in order to make more moles, apply for the new management position at Harold's Gadgets and Gizmos. Choice 1. Or choice 2. Begin to tackle this food problem. What is your choice?
Mercy. You're giving me 2 choices. I know that one of them is probably the way I should go. But the easier of the 2 is the one I'm going to choose because I think that's more realistic when it comes to thinking about this issue. Try to get the better paying job.
That's right. I knew you'd say that, and I'm glad you did. So let me tell you what happens. Here are the circumstances and events that take place once this man does this. All right? So he applies for the management position at Harold's Gadgets and Gizmos. He actually gets the position and makes more moles. But with inflation, the prices increase. They continue to rise. He stays frustrated at prices at Big Shamaki's. His bills pile up because now he got a baby. Stress piles up. And the bills pile up. He blows up at the workers over at Harold's Gadgets and Gizmos. He loses his job. And in order to put food on the table, he ends up working as a stock boy for Big Shamaki.
Man,
End
that's
of the
some
story.
shiitake right there,
That
man.
is some big shiitake right there. What the focaccia bread, bro? Yeah, so that's not the route that he should have taken. Let me tell you what he really should have done, and we'll continue on in our story. Okay? He begins to tackle the food problem. This is what he does. JJ, he looks on the internet for a way to bring down food prices. Shay Shay, the genius that she is, suggests that he talk to his friend Peter Patel.
Peter Patel.
Peter Patel. That's right. Yes, it does sound Indian and Southeast Asian, and that's because it is. That's where Peter's family is from, and it has no bearing on the story. I just like the name. So, JJ kind of rolls his eyes when he hears this suggestion because Peter's a little bit wonky, right? He's not a conspiracy theorist, but he is super suspicious of everything, right? Now, Shay Shay knows how JJ feels about Peter, but she points out that Peter might be their only hope. Like, you can't just cut him out because you think he's a little wonky.
Right.
So JJ, he knows his wife is a genius. He's like, all right, fine. So JJ goes over to visit Peter, right? And just picture this. He's walking up this dusky place, knocks on this big, dusty sheet metal door. And he hears British accent, hello there! Who goes there? He's rolling his eyes. He's like, this freaking guy. Who goes there? Nobody even... It's me, JJ. Please place your eye in the retinal scanner. Bro, you do not have a retinal scanner. This is a hole that you drilled in your sheet metal door. You know it's me, man. Just let me in. Peter realizes that JJ has made a great point, and so he lets him in. Lets him in. Good point there, fellow.
He
Come on in.
sounds slightly paranoid this guy.
Just a little bit. Okay, drilling holes into his. It's kind of counterintuitive if you think about it. It's like you want to be safe, but you've drilled a hole that now gives people access. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I don't know if it's good. So anyway, JJ tells Peter his frustrations with Big Shamakis, and Peter goes into his, I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but I had seen this one YouTube video that had said speech. When he finishes that, Peter Patel comes up with a couple of suggestions. Ding, ding, ding. Choice time. Peter and JJ will start a series of hunger strikes in front of Big Shamakis. That's one option. Second option is they will call a neighborhood meeting to organize a boycott of Big Shamaki's finest foods and other stuff.
I'm going to go with the second one simply because I don't like fasting. Plus, I think there's power in community as well.
Yeah, you're speaking well. But before we get to that, I want to tell you what happens for the hunger strike. Because it's just really funny. And there's a principle actually in it that we want people to process and learn. All right. Good thing you didn't pick that because it was definitely the wrong one. It's just definitely not what you wanted. All right. So here's what happens though. For the first hunger strike, it's just JJ and Peter. Literally just those two. Only them. So the guys get their protest signs. Then Shay, she passes out Peter's informational handwritten note cards to people as they're, entering the store.
Walking by.
Yeah, they probably throw it in the trash as soon as they get in.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't even read this. What is this? I don't read his handwriting. It looks like chicken scratch. But Shay, man, she's supportive, so she's passing out. She's there. She's passing it out. While they're trying to protest. After the first hour, though, Peter, forgetting his blood sugar issue, passes out for lack of food. As a result, JJ and Shay, they actually have to take him into Big Shamaki's to buy him some soup
buy food.
and bread, which costs 55 moles just for some soup and bread. So now JJ gets mad at the price again. And he's now mad at Peter. So they take Peter back to his metal shed compound, and the hunger strike fails. All right, so that's what you didn't want to do. Now, mercy. Here's what's important to think about, right? And here's why I share that. Because when you're talking about change, this is a point that the article made. It says you got to think about impact and power. So aside from Peter's blood sugar issues, right, put that aside, right? The reason this approach fails is because of how power and impact work. So an individual can start to work for change, but the individual's actions alone are not enough to create change against a dominant power. Right? It's so we say it starts with one. Yes, it starts with one, but it will not finish with one. You must add. Right. You must add. Right. And it's also important to understand how power works, right? So sometimes, the definition that people give for power is the ability to make people do stuff, right? You might think that's what power is. But there is this German-American philosopher, her name is Hannah Arendt, I don't know how to say it differently, but it's NDT. I don't know how you pronounce that. ARENDT. If anybody knows, put it phonetically to us or let us know or send us a voicemail or something. Anyway, her name, Hannah Arendt. And she describes power as the ability to act in concert. So it's the capacity for collective action. She says that's actually where power comes from. So you were right on track when you were talking about there's power in community. And she points out this: leaders have power because those under them empower them to direct the group's collective action. Right? So we need organization of a group. Individually, it is almost impossible to create big scale change. Okay, so that is one of the first things that they said. It's like, it's good if you want to be the one that starts, but make sure that your plan is not just you against the world. This is not a Tupac song. Okay, it is not me against the world. This is me starting to gain a following for a movement because it's going to be us. That's the only way the impact will actually be successful. That's not pessimistic. That's just realism. All right?
Reality, yeah, reality. That's true.
So now let's go to the example that you did pick. Okay, they call a neighborhood meeting to organize a boycott against Big Shamaki's finest foods and other stuff. So here's what happens. The neighborhood gathers. JJ makes a great speech. Everyone agrees with JJ. JJ starts the Q&A session. Then Sally Salisbury. She raises her hand and asks the first question. She says, how are we supposed to eat if we can't buy food? A silence falls over the crowd. Everyone realizes that Sally has an excellent point. Exquisite point. They all agree that this boycott is a bad idea. So they all leave and the boycott fails. That was the right decision, by the way. Now, here's why. Next point that the article makes. You have to have viable alternatives. What do we mean by that? No one will consider giving up support for a current system unless they have experienced viable alternatives. So not even just that the viable alternative is said to be existing or that the idea exists, they have to have experienced it. Right? So they so that means that this viable alternative must be created and experienced before the change. Those things have to happen before the change occurs. This is the only way that the transition will ever actually happen. Not theoretically, it's like if you really want change, before the change happens, you've got to present the option and people must have experienced the option and been like, yo, this is good. Okay. And then it can actually happen. Now, on with the story. All right, so keep these in mind. Everybody, you're writing this down. Okay, keep this in mind. All right, so moving on. So JJ, Shay, and Peter, they go back to the metal shed compound, defeated, but still determined. Come on, somebody. While they are talking, Peter remembers that he hasn't eaten and doesn't want to pass out again. So he grabs a little knife, he goes over to his tomato plant, and he gets a tomato and starts eating. Shay, being the genius that she is, realizes that if Peter can find a way to grow tomatoes, then maybe they can find a way to grow tomatoes too. So, Shay and JJ make the long drive to Hershey's nursery. Right? They pick up some tomato plants and they start growing tomatoes. As this happens, Shay starts talking with her girlfriends. She lets them know that she can sell them tomatoes for a much cheaper price than Big Shamaki. One of the homegirls, who's really struggling, says that she wants to buy, but she can't. She's like, I ain't got it. I ain't got the molies. She's like, all right, cool, don't trip. No problem. She says, it is harder to get around since the baby is almost due. I need some help with errands. So if you can help me with the errands, I'll give you some tomatoes.
Go ahead and barter that one.
Dude, they bartered it like a mug, bro. Like a pakasha. Yeah. So it works, right? This works out great. And Shay tells JJ how this is going. So Shay and JJ get to thinking, this is working. This is really helping people. Ding, 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 choice time. JJ and Shay will teach Shay's homegirls to grow tomatoes. It's one option. The second option is organize a community garden that will teach others in the neighborhood to grow a variety of crops. What you picking, bro?
Oh, so because I'm always a huge fan of these community gardens, we were trying to put one in a while ago at my former church. I'm gonna go with that one.
The community garden?
Uh-huh.
All right, then I'm gonna tell you, that's a great option. Because let me tell you what would have happened the other way. When Shay Shay teaches her 3 homegirls to grow tomatoes, they are actually very successful. But then there's a big competition between Shay Shay and her homegirls. So Shay Shay feeling some type of way because how could her homegirls do her like this?
Right.
She loses it, sets the tomato crops on fire, burns 20 acres of land in the process. It takes 7 years to rebuild this. She loses her best friend Minerva. Now JJ Jr. and Francine have no godmother. Oh yeah, by the way, it was twins. JJ and Francine, they were twins. It was twins. So that was definitely not the option you wanted to pick. Here's the option you wanted to pick.
20 acres.
20 acres.
Did Shay Shay go to jail? Did they take her to prison?
They didn't know it was her. She did it in the cover of Night.
Mercy. Oh,
yeah. I mean, Minerva.
This story getting real good.
Listen. Minerva definitely was like, I know this. I know. It was Shay Shay, but she didn't have any, evidence to support that, so it didn't work out. But Shay Shay was like, how you gonna double do me like that? No longer the godmother. Peace out. Go in the ashes.
Sound a little bit cray-cray.
Let me tell you, bro. She's a genius, but when the genius gets the fury behind it, that's dangerous. That's a dangerous combination, right?
That's a woman. That's a woman who loves her man, but don't cross her.
Right, exactly. And that's the kind of woman I want to have. So I'm down with that.
20 acres.
20 acres, bro. So let's go to the option you did pick, which is to organize a community garden where they teach others in the neighborhood to grow a variety of crops. All right, so here's what happens. The neighborhood creates a successful collective that meets the produce needs of the local community. Here is the principle that works there. It's about group organization. This is what the article says. One approach is to organize small versions of the type of change that you want to see. As the needs of the people are met, they will more than likely buy into the movement. They'll be like, okay, yeah, I could get my vegetables from okay, yo, this is working. This is good. I ain't gotta go to Big Shamaki's and pay 50 moles for 2 ears of corn. I can get them from the homie. I can get for 50 moles, I can get all my produce for the month. This is what I'm talking about. So they buy in. As these groups form, they can begin to put forth what you call oppositional initiatives within the current state of things. So you haven't changed the whole landscape of control right now, but you have organized these smaller clusters that present options that are alternative to what everybody has to choose. Right? So you're starting small. Neighborhood block, just like it might just be only your neighborhood block that's doing this. And that's good. And that's how it starts. That's how it begins to form, right? And later that can form into a bigger, more powerful union. So, getting back to the story. This is exactly what Shay Shay, JJ, and the homies did. Peter Patel, Minerva, all of them. Sally Salisbury, they're all in on it now.
Sally Salisbury, that little
Well, she made the great point though. It's like, hey, if we gotta have, we can't eat. We gotta eat. We'll be dead, so we can eat it. Now, new wrinkle. Beaumonte Jenkins. Beaumonte Jenkins gets inspired. He comes to JJ and Shay Shay with another idea. He told them how he and his brothers love to bake. He said if they could organize the families that grew fruit into setting aside a portion of what they grow to the Jenkins families, then Beaumonte and his brothers would provide baking for the whole neighborhood at a super low rate.
Oh, wow.
Ding, 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 choice time. JJ and Shay Shay will reject the offer or take Beaumonte up on the offer.
Oh, man. Is there a third choice?
No.
Ooh, this is hard, man, because I don't know if I trust folk like that. Like,
Okay.
hey, give me all the fruit. But then I'm like,
Well, it's not give me all the fruit.
Like
They said put a portion of your fruit aside, not all of your fruit.
Okay, then I'm gonna say yes, because I'm all about collaborating. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Now, before we get into that, though, I gotta tell you what happens when they reject him, because it's hilarious.
Okay.
Okay. So Shay Shay and JJ, right? They reject the offer. They're like, nah, son, you can't move in on this. So Beaumonte tells the neighborhood everything that happens, all the conversations, everything that went down. Tells his idea to the rest of the neighborhood. Everyone gets on board, minus Shay Shay and JJ. JJ specifically is targeted by being charged high prices for baked goods.
Oh,
He gets just as mad as he originally was with Big Shamaki because he really loves Madeleines and apple fritters.
I don't blame him.
He has a nervous breakdown. He gets fired from Harold's Gizmos. He ends up working as a stock boy for Big Shamaki to make ends meet.
Oh, that arrow pointed right back to the stock boy.
You got to collaborate. You got to collaborate, people. It's just the way of life. This is the reality. Please,
Oh, man.
please.
This guy, he's probably also a good target for diabetes too. It sounds like.
well, yeah. Like if all he
Fritters
eats is
really
apple
got him.
fritters and Madeleine, he's not going down the right path. But I think he's good because he started out with tomatoes and produce.
Oh, right.
So I think his mind, and he got Shay Shay on his back, so he's got help. He's got support. Now, here's what happens when they do take him up on the offer. The bakery idea is a huge success. And the neighborhood gets inspired to do the same thing with other types of food businesses, restaurants, juice bars, snack shops, you name it, they do it. Noodle restaurants, they do it all.
Nice.
Right? Ramen noodle restaurants. The neighborhood collective are so good that they actually get to the popularity where they provide the same level of service as Big Shamaki. Now they're direct competitors. The collective style is making just as much service to the community as those that shop directly from Big Shamaki's. Right? Because you got some people, they're like, I don't know about this, man. Let me just go to Shamaki and just pay my 55 moles. Let me just do it. All right? But it's equal now. It's like almost parallel. It's basically parallel in service. Now, here's the principle that the article makes. Right? Network provides equal service. As a newly organized group puts forth all the alternative experiences and variables, it will further erode the current leading power. Right? As these networks grow, their system of operations grow, and they gain enough power to parallel the existing dominant power. All right, so this is how it actually happens. You've got the more buy-in. The proof is in the pudding, and it becomes more popular. Now it's equal. You're not ready to overthrow yet, but it's equal. Right? Because you and your local community have done that. So for that one community, you're now providing equal service. Get the equal results, but probably in a more positive way. Alternative. Let's keep going with the story. Ooo-Wap County now becomes so extremely successful, Bertha Bermuda tells her cousins in Wop Wams County they like it. They ask if Shay Shay and JJ will come and do a workshop for a few families in Wop Wams County. Ding, ding, ding. Choice time.
Ooh.
JJ and Shay Shay will not help the Wop Wam family because they hold a grudge for how they had put them into a tough position in the first place. They don't trust them. They don't trust the Wop Wams, for sure. Or they help the families in Wop Wam County. What you picking?
I feel like it's going to come back and bite us in the butt, but let's go help these people.
Interesting. Okay. Let me tell you what would happen if they didn't help them. If they rejected him first, because it's funny. Okay, so this is because I did all this work. Everybody's got to hear all. Yeah. Everybody's got to hear all.
Yeah.
All right, so I know you're always going to pick the good one. So we know that. So here's what happens when they reject him, though. Just if anybody did have that in mind to reject, the Wop Wam families get offended. Of course, they organize a mob under the motto, stronger, faster, harder. If we did it once, we'll do it again.
Ooh.
They destroy all of the businesses and towns in Ooo-Waps County. The only business left is their cousin, Big Shamaki's Finest Foods. JJ ends up working there as a stock boy.
Oh, stock boy.
To make ends meet. It doesn't pay to reject. Guys. It just doesn't, okay? Now, here's what happens when they decide to help the families. The new Wop Wam County, their collective is now successful. Since their county collective system was successful and the Ooo-Wap collective was successful, this now gains statewide popularity. Big Shamaki's Finest Foods and other stuff goes out of business. Everyone has less stress, more reasonable prices, and a great life. Here is the principle from the article. Bigger networks create a new reality. As these networks network and become even bigger, the power, the control, the effectiveness of the once dominant power begins to fade until there is a natural desire for the alternative that works better. So, the grassroots, the unions, the neighborhood councils, their way of life naturally replaces the former order of dominant power.
Corporation power.
Yes, it happened naturally, right? That's the difference. It's not a forced thing. It happened naturally because of how it happened, you know? And so here was the original notion from the article. It says, to bring about lasting change, we need to identify, build up, and bring together existing utopias in the present, creating actual power in the places we live and work. We've got to do this now. So, creating change, which is something that all of us want to do, the focus is not to start some kind of just totally random new idea and try to force everybody into that. Look for the good stuff that's working now. I mean, if you go back to the Ooo-Waps, Shay Shay had the idea just from looking at Peter's tomato plant.
Tomatoes.
Right? It was something that was already naturally happening. It was good that was naturally happening. And moving with the momentum of that, they built up and the change started to happen. Now, I am not an economist. I am not a political expert or analyst or anything. But this article just, in this really kind of simplified form, talks to us about how real change can actually happen, right? It starts with something real. So whether for us, it's, the racism or, Yeah, let's take, for example, racism.
Institutional change.
Institutional change of some sort. But let's say there was a community and it's only one block and they're like, this is a no racism block. There will be absolutely no racism on this block. No racism, no sexism, no ageism, no whatever other isms. We're not going to have that on this block. And it's just one block in one neighborhood somewhere. If that actually could exist to the point where you could feel the difference when you were on that block versus when you left that block, that's a spark. That's going to do something. But it takes that real commitment and change. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. It's very good. I love how practical it was. I love how it took us step by step. I love how JJ had to keep going back to the stock room if he chose the easier route out.
Right, man.
Because I mean, practically, when you think about these steps, yeah, it's any of us could do it. However, the tide that hits against us for taking the easier route is so strong. That current is so strong that it's hard to deny it. You know, it's easier. Yeah, I'm gonna just get a better job, get a little bit more pay, and I'm gonna complain still about it. So yeah. I love how we built that up. I noticed that there's a real emphasis on local, moving from corporational, global, large entity to more local, communal-based type structure. And I think that is hard as well. That's challenging as well.
Yeah.
Because that means that you're gonna have to find a way to connect your local community together around issues.
Right. Right.
But I mean, you know, which is interesting because when we hit our capitalistic boom, we were trying to grow out corporations and large and, you know, and go global. And now that we're kind of on this side, we didn't see the shadow side to it. Now that we're here, we realize how it has eroded some of the fabric of things that are good for us. So, challenging and good.
I'm glad that you made that point, because what the article says is, listen, remember to keep the realism, right? Just as one individual change is not big enough, if you think of it on a bigger scale, one local community is still not big enough. So you start with the local, but your mindset is still to get global, you know? So it's like break it down, build what you want, and then start building back out. Now, for me, as a Christian, I think that this begins with the courage and determination that God can help you to have. Right?
Yeah.
There's one pastor that was talking to us at a pastor's retreat, and he said, dream so big that only God can make it happen. Dream so big that only God can make it happen. Like, you don't get any kind of idea in your mind that, you are going to make this happen. It has to be God. And so here's my biblical offering for that. Isaiah 41, verse 10. It says, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That's my challenge for anybody, Christian or not. God is no discriminator. God helps who asks for the help. So take him up on that offer if you want to do something. I have a parting blessing. Any words before the parting blessing, brother?
God bless thee, brothers and sisters out there. Let's work together to make this a better world.
Let's make it a better world. And my blessing to you, may God give you the courage and the strength and the drive to live out the change you wish to see, and the people to join you on the journey. Blessings, brothers and sisters.
Got
him, coach. You never know. You never know.
Hey, man.
You never know how good God can do something.
Heal the world.
Heal the world.
We'll make it a better place.
Make it a better place. You suck. I can't believe you did it. Right at the end, you ninja. Is that a 2000 song? Or is that a 90s?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. Anyway, either way, you never know. So,
you never know.
Urban Prophets, y'all. We out.
Bum,
bum, bum, bum. And then into a bigger chorus of dun 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 dun, because that's our principle for today. All right. Peace out, people.
Nicely done.
You never know.